skilled at that, but great actor, plus not much English. Also, because I speak a little French, I realized also not much French, because he spoke Belgian French, which those of you who know, if you speak French, Belgian French is a little challenging. So, so I'm trying to figure out, but both Tom and I were just fascinated by this guy. And so we decided that we would sign him and begin this process of trying to figure out what to do. And we proceeded with that, and sure enough, you know, studios said things like, he doesn't speak English. You know, what do we do with him? And so we began, you know, getting him fast English speaking lessons and accent management kind of things and all that, and he was a dedicated guy. You know, as an athlete, he knew how to study, how to buckle down, how to do stuff, and he did everything we asked of him. He was supporting himself on giving kickboxing lessons, you know, and finding different dojos and studios where he could work. And, you know, we were putting this thing together, but nobody was having any. I mean, nobody was having any. And it was really a difficult go. And a few years into that, for a number of reasons, I realized that I really wasn't a manager. There was way too much arguing about money involved in it. I didn't like that. I also realized that what I was doing with my clients in terms of helping them do better in their lives had much more to do with stuff I was teaching them, and I decided to take this direction in my life. And Tom and I dissolved that company. He became a producer and went on to do that. And we gave Jean-Claude to another manager who proceeded to get totally rich. But that other manager had to invest some years in it too to finally get stuff developed. Okay, so segue, you know, and I went to Jean-Claude's first big movie and watched it, and it was really exciting to see him be a movie star and to get this thing he dreamed of. But I realized I probably wasn't seeing any more of those movies because, first of all, I am utterly uninterested in martial arts and fighting. I mean, to the extreme of, please don't make me look at it. I mean, I get the art form, but I don't get all the other stuff they have to do to make the movies interesting, all the violence that goes with these movies. So I, you know, pretty much didn't follow the trajectory, but and then I was aware as various scandals developed and different things happened and things that went wrong and right and stuff like that, I would, you know, get a little smattering of what was going on with Jean-Claude. But when Ryan said, I just have a feeling that you might want to see this movie, to all of us, he didn't know this history that I had. I don't even know if you knew that till now. But I rented the movie. I took it on vacation with me to Maine. I tried to watch it. It's got subtitles. Couldn't. I was on vacation. It was too much. I just couldn't get into it. But Netflix had the disc. Finally, about 10 days ago, there's finally a night when I'm awake enough that I can watch subtitles, because there's a danger after I've taught and stuff. I'm usually a little snoozy if there's no subtitle. And also because I speak a little French, this Belgian French really gets on my nerves. And but I watched it, and it's a fairly intriguing just movie, because it's about him. It's not about a character. It's about him at age 47. He can't do the same stunts he used to do. Where is he going to get a movie? And then they've exaggerated and stretched the story, and they put a fictional setting of him being involved in the takeover, the hijacking of a bank, and he's suddenly in this bank, and then the public realizes it's Jean-Claude, and the public thinks maybe Jean-Claude's become a criminal because they all think he's a loser and his career's over, and you know, the media's running away with this. So there's this whole setting, and it's by a very, very clever director, and there's realities going on at different times and time shifting going on. It's a pretty interesting movie. Okay. All of this story is because I want to show you this little clip. And the reason I want to show it to you is because we so think that acting has to do with skill and training, which it does. And we all, a lot of you are like acting snobs, you know, you look down at people who you don't think are as trained as you. And that's just because you have to maintain your own ethic of getting your work done, so, you know, you gotta look down on somebody in order to feel better than. You know, it's useful as a tool to keep you doing your work. And I am not, by the way, in any way impugning the study or the work that you do, because after all, I offer that. And I think it's vital and important. But no matter how trained you are, or how untrained you are, when you step into the truth and your full-on willingness to be yourself in your work, it's pretty irresistible. Now, most of us have various kinds of shields we put up in front of that because we wouldn't want anybody to really see. The nice stuff, we would like them to really see. But maybe we're not so good with them seeing the other stuff. And I don't mean your bad stuff. Most of us are kind of cool. We kind of like to show our bad stuff. But it's like your yucky failure, your scummy, dumb, insecure idiot stuff. Not so much, you know, not so much. That's harder to show and we'll tend to act that. So, in watching this rather interesting movie, which is kind of interesting just in and of itself, I got to have my payoff experience with this person who's occupied a little role in my life and who I have a fondness for and also an anger with because I think he kind of ruined things for himself in certain ways. And yet I know he's really good-hearted, so forth. I got to have in a movie my experience of remembrance and forgiveness and affection and a whole lot of things. And I wanted to show it to you just because it's an example of extreme performance and what's possible if you'll just give in and let yourself do it. And after I show this, we're then going to talk about some tricks using this work to both give extreme performances, find them fast, let them be as extreme as they can be without overdoing them, and then recovering from them afterwards and going on with a career that maybe doesn't have those extremes in it. So this is the moment from JCVD. It'll take you a few minutes. You're going to be reading subtitles because he's speaking Belgian French. But I've given it full volume because I want you to hear him. And you'll read the translations. And I just want you to